Hi. Hello. I don't think I did the Halo beeping announcer voice thing right. But can you hear me? Does that at least work? Let's see. How do I... Of course. Hey, that works. Oh, I look like a little frazzled. I'm not frazzled. Who's frazzled? Hi guys. How is everyone? I'm certainly not an hour late. Listen, I knew I was gonna be streaming, so I shut the computer down this morning so that way it would like calm the fuck down. Started up fresh. Everything was working fine until I opened up Corel because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get that up and running like we usually do. I think Corel is what crashed it, like the whole computer. So yeah. So this time I made sure to have Corel up and loaded beforehand because I noticed it stopped responding several times. So loaded up Corel first, then went live. But it was more than likely the fact that it was trying to do some sort of update. I don't really know. I seem really empty and alone without another person near me. There's too much scene. I guess let's fix that by making me tiny so you guys don't have to see me. Art incoming. I actually love you. Thank you, Borrow. I love you too. You guys hear me? We're good. Good, kind of sleepy, a little sick. Oh no! 2 days off though. That's a perk. Sort of. Okay. Now I'm doing this completely without Sparrow. So let's see how I'm supposed to do this. No, this one. No delay. Tablet. And then okay. Where the fuck did the background just go? Hang on. Background. No background. Sparrow, where the fuck are you? Alright, well, welcome to the void. Because that's how things work here, apparently. Okay. That's fine. Whatever. I'm gonna put on the lo-fi beats. We're gonna have a hard cut, so I'm just gonna switch to a different playlist. I love the void. It's homey. It's so empty. I know. I don't know what happened. I didn't turn anything off or on, and there's nothing that's like disabled besides like the obvious things that are supposed to be disabled. It just doesn't want to load here. Okay. Does this mean you have to shoot yourself with the Nerf dart? If you guys want, but I can't really do the big one. Also, Borrow, thank you for the sub. Sorry you don't get music because I am not the artsy, well, I'm the artsy fartsy one, I'm not the music one. Man, that was way too much stress just to get this thing up and running. And here I am accidentally clearing out Sparrow's notifications because I'm logged in as them on everything. Request a skip song anyway. Yeah. Some of the playlist is like way too aggressive. Okay, no, I'm a little cold, so I'm gonna take my hair down. There you go. A little more alive looking. Sorry, Sparrow's texting me. One sec. Okay. I saw that people were requesting stuff in the LBC streams thread. We do that. But, Baru, since you subbed, I will go ahead and do your drawing first, since I don't have music to give you. But yes, Sparrow is out of town. Yeah, all shots tonight become banked shots. Yeah? I mean, it would definitely be a little hard for me to shoot myself with like the bigger guns anyway. But if you really feel that I deserve a shot, redeem it and then let me know that it's for me, not for Sparrow. Maybe eventually we'll get a point up there for when I deserve to be shot, but I think I'm often on good behavior that I don't deserve to be shot. You'll take a little doodle of a bunny. Do you want anything specific about the bunny or just a bunny? So far, everything that I'm having for October is supposed to be like Halloween themed, but Ash has never sinned. Sure, Jan. Just a Benui. Okay. Trying to figure out how to be comfy. Feels dark. Delayed destruction. Love that. Love that for Sparrow. We should still be doing Friday stream. Friday, and Sparrow should be back for that. Because they're gonna be back late on Thursday. So that's why we had to move movie night to Wednesday, because they're mostly gonna be traveling back. And let's be real, movie night is for Sparrow, since Sparrow hasn't seen more than half the movies that we're putting up there. Bunny. I don't think I've really drawn bunnies all that often, now that I think about it. I hope this doesn't look too much like a cat. Hope this actually looks like a bunny in general. I could picture it in my head, but it's like once you start trying to draw it, you're like, wait a minute. Just want his little paws hanging down. You got little nubbin buns. There was Strong Legs Bunny from a few months back. We have to miss movie night because D&D. That's fair. I gotta remember to, post the poll and then figure out, how I'm gonna get the movie. Whichever movie it is. We have some movies, not all of them though, that were that we post up. And let's be honest, I don't want to run my ass to the library right before we have to watch the movie, so I might just end up dishing out the money to legally rent the movie from some sort of dumb streaming service. And it's gonna be like $2-3, so at this point I don't really care. I feel like this bunny deserves like some neck fluff. Actually, no, the neck fluff looks weird. Neck fluffs are like when they're absolutely just like squunched up. So much neck floof that they're just smooshed up in there. But he's gonna have chonker cheeks. Absolute chonkerest cheeks. Kind of looks more like a stuffed toy than it does like an actual bunny, I feel like. But you know what? That's okay. You didn't specify if it was, you know, if it needed to be a sentient mammal and not a lovable, cotton stuffed friend. Whoa, this is suddenly really inky. Why is this coming out so, like, thick? I didn't even change the settings, but suddenly it's just like, oomph. Right, we got a bunny. Hi, Sparrow. No. Sparrow. Why couldn't you just leave it at cute bunny? Sparrow's gonna say approximately like 3 messages and then pass the fuck out. It's fun. Okay. Alright, so. First drawing done. By the way, Sparrow, this bun is because Baru has subbed. We got buns for Baru. This is gonna be really confusing later on. No, I'm just gonna get on Final Fantasy 14 and hang out. Just watch me. You're gonna pass out. You had 2 rum and cokes. You had 1 rum and coke yesterday and passed out pretty fast too. Witness me, if you will. Okay. All right, let's see. Jay, thank you for the sub. No notifications, because we're existing in the void right now. But thank you. Sparrow, you're lucky that you can't get timed out in your own stream. Oh, I love the witch hats on the hearts. Jay, since you subbed, do you want to add anything to your vampire request? Which, I mean, you were allowed to begin with, because I was saying, like, you didn't have to just choose a prompt. You can, like, choose multiple prompts to smash together, or take a prompt and then add to it. But, yeah, do you want to add anything to your Hauntober prompt for vampires? I don't even know which one. Yeah. Just keep it simple and ask for a punk vampire. No, that's not simple. Typically, I think vampires is like, you know, the Transylvanian, you know, Dracula kind of thing, like. Or Victorian at the least, but, let's say punk. Punk vampire. Sparrow, you're being a little too tipsy. Oh, hey. That was so delayed. Like 3 minutes late. That's so funny. Sparrow is cute. And I miss you too. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, like, the computer took a total shit on itself the first time and was like maxed out at fucking... The CPU was like maxed out and it was saying, what was it? System interrupts? And like, I could only move like the mouse would only move like this fast. With me like dragging it across the screen. And this is how fast it was moving. So shutting down took quite a lot of effort just to, you know, get the mouse through 3 windows. Three fucking monitors worth of, you know, screen to navigate. And of course, I was at the furthest point from where the start bar was. It wouldn't let me use the arrow keys either, because the keyboard wouldn't respond either suddenly. So yeah, computer had a total meltdown. So I have no idea why I'm in the void, what broke, but hey, I'm streaming and we're stable. So I'm gonna go with it. I ain't gonna fight it. All right, vampire, I gotta try and like chew through these. What do you mean by high concept? Jay, you gotta remember I'm stupid. I don't know what high concept means, unless if you mean like like what's commonly requested or like what's like more commonly understood. I'm just gonna Google punk. That's like the dumbest thing to say. We'll do punk aesthetic. Hopefully it doesn't give me like Nazi shit. I feel like a lot of this aesthetic is more goth than it is punk. But I guess there's a little bit of overlap. Can't be a punk and a Nazi there, enemy ideologies. Sure, but there's a lot of posers who will use the punk aesthetic, but then have Nazi imagery with it. So, sometimes just trying to Google punk aesthetic will get you that shit. High concept, a striking and easily communicable idea. Sparrow says, so I took a roughly 0.8 mile hike with a plate of 3 Oreos, a square of cornbread, a half slice of French silk pie, a slice of pineapple, back from the dinner lodge back to the cabin. I only lost 1 Oreo on the way in my inebriated state. I consider that an absolute win. Why do you have to walk? Why don't you just eat your food at the dinner lodge and then go back to the cabin with, like, I don't know, some snacks or something later? There's a considerable overlap between punk and goth. Susie and the Banshees got their start as a punk band. Okay. And they could perish. Absolutely. I also have 2 full water bottles to drink. Don't worry. Because my eyes are bigger than my stomach. I mean, if you have like a little fridge there, I guess it's not too bad. I need to make a decision. Stop being paralyzed. Ooh, excuse me. Meow. Hi. What's up? You want to be co-streamer? Can I pull the chair out for you so you can stream next to me? I can't get the chair out. No, you just wanted to announce yourself. Delbro says, yo, I'm fading into the background world, gorging myself with Taco Bell. Intoxication gang. Taco Baco sounds nasty right now, but it's super good at other times. Taco Baco. So let's do... Oh, she's very vampire aesthetic. Meow, is there a Rosie cat? I miss my babies. Yeah. Rosie decided to just appear out of nowhere and go, meow. Pepper's sleeping on the bed. She's really mad that I'm not snuggling her. Sorry, we're gonna have periods where I'm gonna get really quiet because it's gonna be hard to focus on drawing and reading chat. So just pretend that I'm reading chat for you guys. I'll take little breaks to try and too high. Nope, wrong tool. I really do need to figure out like hotkeys for this so I can like switch back and forth easier. Let's see. Okay, despite my want of art, I too am sleepy. I'll hopefully be less sleepy after tomorrow when I can catch when I can. Being around other people is exhausting. Yes, it very is. Okay, your case, Sparrow. I have a silly request. Please draw a snail with a little sleeping cap on, catching some Z's. Sleeping snail. I'll catch the VOD later to see if my snail friend materialized. All right. Good night, Narset. I have the idea written down. I do have a few others that people had already posted in the stream chat from before I even started streaming, so I'm gonna get through those first. And I'll get to that one if I have time. You have charmed the second cat. Her name is Cornelia. Tell me all about her. Tell me all about this new kitty. This is not the lo-fi playlist that I told it to play. Please hold. I thought we had bookmarked the list before, so I'm not quite sure which playlist I originally grabbed, and I don't know if any of those are safe for me to play. This sounds lo-fi-ish. I'll go with this for now. Ashron, they're gonna burn down the computer. She's really shy towards humans, but she's also very cuddly. She hopped on me yesterday and started sniffing my face. I said hi to her and she bolted all. She's one of those kitties that you gotta hold perfectly still for and let them come to you. Right, babe, I wanted the lo-fi stream beats that we had set up before for art stream, not just like the regular stream beats playlist, because I didn't want like all of the extra stuff coming at us, and I thought we had like bookmarked the like the lo-fi version. I just grabbed one of the albums from from Stream Beat, so I'll just go off of that for now. And if I realize that we repeat after, you know, an hour, then I'll switch it. I could be such a cunt right now, Spotify control, but I'll be good. Yeah, you already took control from me once. I was trying to set up stream the second time around, and you fucking took control, and I'm like, why is Final Fantasy music playing? Let's see. She'll just come up to me if I call for her too. She's figuring it out. Other cats don't like her. Aww. Me in a dark hoodie. Bring chaos. No. Don't want them to take down our stream. Alright, let's try and crank this drawing out. Okay, so... Jesus Christ. Hi. You're gonna try and get into trouble, aren't you? Alright, I'll let you sniff around for now. Sorry, I needed walking music to make it back to the cabin. It's very dark out here and I'm wobbly. Maybe don't be walking around in the dark. So I gotta go find out time to get and set up separate playlist. Yeah, it's fine. We got a lot of other things to do. Baby cat in stream chat. Rosie, I can't see the screen. Thank you, Rose. What you guys can't see is a fucking baby walking in front of the monitors. Okay. Stream chat. Little kiddo. I like her little spots of gray. That's very cute. She's adorable and chubby and sweet. How do I want that to look? Nope, I don't like the way that looks. This is just gonna end up looking like the person and not... Oh. Interesting. Alright, too low. How long till Sparrow is out? Come on, place your bet. Step right up. 27 minutes. Can't start a poll on mobile, or else I totally would. I thought there was a way to start a poll on mobile. Okay, lied, I'm not getting on Final Fantasy tonight. Just chill. Are you too sleepy? Are you too sleepy to get on Final Fantasy? Was I right? Did I fucking call it? I don't have a car. Also better that I walk than drive in the state. Well, yeah, but like, why aren't you, I don't know, why aren't you with people? Don't get like cougared or something. I would prefer that you are not just wandering about late at night. I'm too sleepy and uncoordinated. You were right. I know. I know I was right. How many common rogues deep are we? Don't ask Sparrow that question. You might get an honest answer. Can't quite fully see what's happening there. So we're gonna make it up a little bit. Okay. Now how do I... She doesn't seem like a smiling type person. How do I... She also doesn't show her fucking teeth. How do I make this work to do vampire? I feel like this should only be obvious to JF, who I'm actually just using as a model at this point. Blood trickling down the lip? I guess. That just feels a little too vague, I guess, to me. Also, what the fuck is up with her face? Why can't I get this right? It's okay, I'm gonna get fucked over here with the hair and set. Let's take a break on that and start giving her some anime ass fucking hair, I guess. How do you drop the fucking Sandman ass hair? Oh my god, this is very anime-esque. Oh, hang on, just looking at that drawing. When you like don't actually back up from your drawing and then you're like, holy shit, she's got these fucking like baby ass arms. I drew her way too huge. Her head is fucking enormous. Shoulder would realistically be like up there. For a little smart as a treat. Oh my god, what layer am I drawing on? Okay, good. I'm not that stupid. I haven't caught up on chat. Suppose there's no cougars out here. Wish you were here though, wink wonk. First off, bite me. I ain't a cougar. I'm only a year older than you. Worst we got is like elks and have managed to steer fairly clear of them. Are you sure? I'm pretty sure there's cougars out there. There's gotta be some sort of large predator out there. Not nearly funny. Do research into rogues to determine the answer. Sparrow and me need to get fucked up because problems together ASAP. Oh, and cause problems. No causing problems between autocorrect and my rum thumbs. It took me a solid attempt. It took me a solid attempts to fully type rogues on my phone. Did you hear about the Splatoon drama? Yes. It's straight up Susie, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. I was like, oh, she gives off a lot of like vampire aesthetic. But she doesn't smile or open her mouth in any of these pictures. So how am I supposed to show vampire teeth? Also, she looks too like soft in my drawing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm struggling on this one. Which is why I kind of just drew a fucking pair of vampire lips up here. Just juicy. Kissable, will likely bite your throat out vampire lips. Sorry on the delay of the thought there. Just gonna do the same thing over here. Oh, it's fucking tiny on the screen for you guys, isn't it? Bam. Kissable vampire lips. Well, I try to beat my head through another. And it's funny. This shouldn't be a hard prompt. I ended up making this hard for myself this time. Chronum says art. Hello, Chronum. It is indeed art, or the closest thing you can get to it. Sarah says, all I can think of is that one VTuber who chroma keyed in Japanese porn over the enemy team's ink. Yeah. Apparently they're trying to use it to like not get caught, I guess. Like they're trying to like, you know, I don't know, motivation to make sure you cover up the fucking ink. You win by covering up the enemy by not showing porn, I guess. So it's certainly interesting. Not super caught up, but did they actually get away with it? I don't know yet. Here's a fun fact. Trigger warning for minor personal injury. Shaved, small wound. Reopened. Sparrow. Asking Sparrow to bite you is a very poor choice of words. I know what I said. Bar says, did you hear about the Overwatch 2 not allowing people to play with a phone, without a phone number? This doesn't allow people with a prepaid phone to, plans to play. One of my D&D players brought this up as Blizzard invented a new form of capitalism. It doesn't surprise me. A solid 8 attempts. A solid attempts. You're coming for me Thursday evening? I'm gonna be dead ass asleep by the time you get home. You're gonna be biting something that's just, I'm not even gonna notice. I think it looks good all the same. I guess. I mean, thank you. I need to learn to take compliments better. That's the wrong color. It's also the wrong layer. Just gonna elbow this bunny out of the way. Just need some guidelines to kind of map what I'm doing here. This shoulder should be like probably here, actually. Yes, hello? Hop up. Come up here. Come on. I'd rather you do it now than jump on my face when I least expect it. She's gonna jump on my face. Overwatch 2 Gated Community Edition. Honestly, Overwatch as a whole just hardly exists to me anymore. I pay no attention. It's literally just stockpile of porn models in my head, basically. I stream muted for a solid 8 minutes and thought, wow, she's really focused. Woo, not my fault this time. Yes, you are not to blame, Jay. Unless if it's just by proxy, I immediately choose difficult choices. Ooh, those are kissable. Good, good, good. Ash, snork. Me, snork. Me, hi, babe, chomp. Snork. Releases the Junker Queen. They're about to go crazy. You guys are so funny. Okay, we're just gonna cut part of her arm off. It's just gonna fade into obscurity. And we're just gonna continue on. Because I got other drawings I'm supposed to do. And I have put myself behind. Alright. Clean up some of this mess. Oof, that looks bad. It's okay, we're gonna cover it up with a glove anyway. Alright. like in regards to a vampire drawing, I feel like this was pretty weak on what I could have done, but maybe her eyes are just too, or sort of like too big or something. Face just looks too happy, I guess. But maybe she's just happy because she had a tasty snack. Why are you scratching furniture? Shit, I'm gonna end up coloring in her hair and it's gonna like erase like all the work I've done so far. Maybe I'll just leave her hair just white for now. It's implied that her hair is dark. Also has like extra lines somewhere. I don't know. Something's a little darker here, so we're just gonna add some extra hair to kind of cover that up. Okay. We're gonna get covered up in black anyway. Trying to speedrun Fishnet is kind of fun, actually. Because, like, it's Fishnet. It stretches and shaped differently, and you're not really gonna tell if it's good or bad or not. She needs jewelry. You know what? We're gonna say no. We're gonna give her fucking claws, though. Not that you can see it, because my drawing's too messy. Oh, am I behind in chat again? Rose is attacking the wall. Good lips for you. Thank you, thank you. Spellbound is stuck in my head because of the sketch. You're welcome. I had to take some cold meds, so I'm expecting to get that Hatman away shortly. I'll fight the Hatman. I don't give a fuck. Summon me Yakuza 7 style. Oh, they already got her whole ass model shit going down. What's the guy's name? Yesterday's big Overwatch story was that SF ad makers got the models. Oh, I'm assuming the porn models. I remember Overwatch launch weekend because Pornhub came out and said they saw a 10% decrease in audience over that weekend. Devil works fast, but the animated pornographers work faster. Oh my god. No one can stop them. Who's watching Better Call Saul? Fishnets are very good. Do it. Oh, fuck. Oh wait, I wanted that line. It's a pocket. Okay. I think I'm just gonna leave her like this, because I feel like if I try coloring in things that are black on the outfit, we're just gonna lose too much of it, because I don't feel like trying to work with grayscale right now. We're gonna just do black and white sketches with some splash of colors. Why is it so fuzzy? I'm just gonna go with it. I can unfuzzify that. I'm drastically running out of time, and I'm sure you guys are getting tired and probably want to see me draw more things. Alright, so we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna say that I accomplished it between the two. That I got vampire. And that it wasn't just Susie from Susie and the Banshees bit someone. Alright, let's see. Killer cannolis from outer space. I don't know why I put that one on there. I don't even fucking drop it. Ow! Alright, let's look up a picture of a cannoli real quick. And how do you make a cannoli, a killer cannoli? Why did I put evil desserts on there? You're on my hair, baby. Oh, you don't care. Oh, I'm so sorry for disturbing you. Let's see, Blizzard is aware of at this point. Pizza ain't no goddamn way they make a goth-looking cowgirl with Tubby Mommy vibes, voiced by Jennifer fucking Hale, without being absolutely aware they're basically making digital. They announced that they were trying to protect the models this time. Bullshit. They got them in like, what, 3-4 days, something like that? Press is X'd out. That was a kissable motherfucker. Thank you. Yeah, I'd let them make me worse. Nice armpits. Sparrow. I mean, nice armpits. I barely even, like, added anything. It's a vague hint at an armpit. Alright, so let's just draw a regular cannoli first. So cannolis are like a little fold. A little pastry. That has a little cream filling. Hopefully this isn't gonna look too weird. It's got like chocolate chips in it. Now how do I make this pillar? Why are those? Ew. Bacon cannoli? It's just bacon tubes filled with whipped cream. I guess let's just killer cannolis from outer space. I feel like too many things that I try to change might make it a little weird, but let's start. We'll say here's our plate. Okay, let's let's not just scribble like a 5-year-old. Okay. It's a little bit of a deep dish plate. Why? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Alright. Fuck the plate. That's messed me up. Fuck the place up. Incredibly loud sniffing and snorting. Oh, guys. I'm gonna start kink shaming. Jennifer Hale's the VA for female Commander Shepard. Yeah, I remember that. Jennifer Hale's the voice of yes. Baconoli, if you will. Pro tip, you shouldn't. The Italians would like to know your location. Deep dish cannoli. Isn't that just like, I don't know, a cream-filled pie or something? Please do start kink shaming. I mean, seriously. Okay, so I guess we'll have trust the process. Trust the process. Yeah, I did walk right into that one, didn't I, Sparrow? Turns on y'all with the presence of Woken God King Shirin is my king. Fucking Mary bouncing across the screen with a little hat. Catch me getting shot the instant Ash wakes up on Friday. She'll keep that thing on her. Aw, man, I'm missing all the emotes with the little hats. Hee monster cannoli. Gotta say, I'm doing pretty good at keeping up with chat. For being a solo stream. Okay, so this one's gonna be a little awkward. Let's see if I could try and... I feel like this one I've definitely lost the shape of already. Too many little squiggly lines. Okay. I don't really know if they're killer cannolis from outer space, but they're certainly monster cannolis. The Miyabi gun emote has such rose cat energy. It does. Tried playing Yumi Nikki once a while back, and I felt bad because Ellie was so excited about it, but I just couldn't vibe with it. There's a certain level of abstract where some media just loses me, you know? I mean, that's fair. Yeah, it's super abstract. I think it's a fun game to vibe in, but you ain't beating it without a guide. True, true, true. Rosie, where'd you go? Oh, I saw you. Teleporting cute cats. It's wild because I feel like a lot of trans gals vibe hardcore with that sort of media, and I'm just too baby brain for it or something. Like, I don't really fit into that aspect. Though I guess at the end of the day, I'm still NB rather than straight up trans girl, so shrug. Yeah, but it also could just be that's the only trans girl representation you're seeing. There's plenty of other trans girls who probably don't even play video games. I mean, it's not like trans girl equals gamer, abstract, you know, cat girl, goth, like all that stuff. Like there's a whole spectrum of people out there, so it's not like you have to be pigeonholed into one aesthetic type just to be considered a certain gender. I think there's like a whole thing about, you know, abolishing cisgender because of that bullshit anyway, so you can be whatever you want to be. Now, what are you getting into, child? Oh, she's just curling up. She's actually behaving. Okay, so I want creepy, gross. That's not very gross, but I just want vibrant. That's not very vibrant either. Bold. Spooky. Poltergeisty purple for this cannoli. Okay, Rosie is on the fritz. Let's make this, it's kind of sickly colored. I recommend watching some videos on it or looking up cool stuff. I'm very in the Tumblr ecosystem with all that. Yeah. I managed to get the Uboa event on stream back when I did that. Pickle says, are trans dudes like super hidden? I feel like that would have stumbled on a few online at least. It depends on the groups that you're in, that sometimes trans women are lifted up more than trans men, which is a little bit of a thing where people need to be more aware of uplifting others that don't always do so. Kind of like how you don't really hear much about AMAB NBs too often. It's always like AFAB, and it's like a certain aesthetic that gets kind of pushed upon the community. But essentially, yes, it is pretty hard to find the representation that you're wanting or looking for because of that. I feel like a lot of the Tumblr ecosystem that I've seen is very pro-trans girl and not really giving much rep to trans men. And kind of this along the same lines of all I ever see for trans girl rep is cat girl, cutesy, stockings, super high feminine. And that's not what being a girl is about. But like that's what I see like mostly being like kind of shoved down your throat, I guess. Which, I mean, like, you know, good for you if you like that aesthetic, but like that doesn't have to be the end goal, you know? Let's see. Do feel like trans feminine people are way more represented online than trans masks, yeah. Pickle says, yeah, I want to support all the genders and non-binary. Baro says, I'm an AMAB NB. I feel like we've got a pretty decent circle in our community, like pretty diverse. Yeah, because Zero is very good. I don't see it by default as an NB game, but I'm interested in your take there. Pickle says, I've heard from both a gay dude and a delightful lesbian that the top surgery scars on trans masks are like power move and sexy. Yeah. Bar says, the two most prevalent NBs in my life Both love it, so it is in my mind. Pickle says, or no, Sparrow says, not used to having to say that. Sparrow says something trans girls shoved down throat, blah blah. Yeah. Pickle says, I wonder if trans masks feel fetishized, though I think that seems to go just for about anyone. If anything, I think it's trans women that are a lot more fetishized, and some of it is definitely inherent within the community itself. Like everything feels way too hypersexualized. Trans mask, I don't really see much fetishizing over. I just don't see much rep in general. I think way less trans masks are terminally online, so we see them less. How to be supportive and uplifting without fetishizing? I mean, complimenting appearances without being like, oh yeah, I'd fuck you. I mean, that's like, you know, a major starter, but, you know, some people can't grasp basic concepts of talking to people without... That's the wrong layer. Yeah. Kind of like, how do you compliment, how do you, compliment a fat person without fetishizing them? Well, don't be like, well, I think you're pretty, and, everyone, someone likes, bigger people too, and it's like, it's not all about sex. It's about being a person. And, like, that's kind of the biggest thing. It's like, it doesn't have to be about how sexy they look, how passing they look, how anything. Just let people be people. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts that are... Why did that? Okay. I have a lot of thoughts that are also very scattered. Just trying to focus on drawing. My head even visible when I'm like looking down. I'm like hunched over my tablet. Sparrow's got a hot take coming up, but they either fell asleep or they're still typing. Pickle says, I see people as art. Barrow says, just straight up compliments, no qualifiers needed. I try not to compliment people's physical appearance for fear of being thought creepy. I will say, I love your clothes, or that's a cute accessory. Those are things we could choose about ourselves. Yeah, like, oh, I really like your hair. That's super cool. You could dye it, you can cut it, you change it, whatever. But being like, wow, your boobs are so great, or like, oh, I love the shape of your body. Like, that's kind of creepy. And I guess it's also like the tone of like how you're doing it. Like if you're like, damn, you know, like back the fuck up, you know? Which of course, you know, tone also often gets lost on the interwebs. Like, don't get me wrong, some people like to be complimented like that, but that's not for your everyday situations. That looks like flesh. Can I unfleshify that? That looks less like flesh. No, that still looks like flesh. How do I make you more... Sure, we'll go with this color. Oh, let's see. I will hype up my friends if it seems appropriate, though. Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's a big difference. It's like, those are your friends. You've already established boundaries with them, not total strangers. In regards to fetishizing trans girls within the community, as AMABs and the type of AMABs who are more often than not the kind who were likely ignored and passed over sexuality in our former years, I think it makes some sense for us to be more, I don't know what the best word is here, but I'll go with more sensitive to sexuality in regards to aspects of femininity. And when we can embody that in ourselves, it also helps us appreciate those same aspects in those like ourselves who make the same sort of transition. Hopefully that was anywhere near coherent. I also feel that skirts to close the whole autogynephilia theory, which I know is generally a big no-no, but like, man, I just want to be pretty. And like, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with liking skirts and liking pretty clothes. But it's the fact that like, the general, like, seeing popular trans faces, like trans girls, and I'm not talking like celebrities here and stuff like that, but like popular internet personas of people that are like often, you know, that are trans girls or like, you know, whatever, I guess. I don't really have I don't have the full thought pattern, but like it always feels like it has to be like the pretty pink, the cutesy little short skirt, the sneeze skirts, the basically not far off from like the sailor skirts in Japanese styled fashions from, the schoolgirl uniforms. Like all of the stuff that is hyper sexualized and hyper feminine to a degree. Like it doesn't feel like there's good varying degrees. There's other types of femininity besides cutesy young girl, like we're 2 shades away from pigtails and, like little girl daddy dom kind of subculture. Like it seems like there's something wrong with that it has to be like that's kind of what's the main representation being seen is like all this overly hypersexualized, because what are we showing the younger kids who want to be trans? That they have to be sexualized? It doesn't really feel like there's much of a normal varying degree. It just feels overly hyper feminine, overly hypersexualized when we're sitting here trying to break the gender norms to begin with, but then on the other hand say trans girls must be overly, without specifically saying it, feels like we're still trying to pass that message along that trans girls must be cat girl, hyper feminine, cutesy, petite, all this other stuff. It just doesn't sit right, I hope that makes sense without, being like evil cis person, since I still haven't actually said if I'm non-binary or not. I don't really know. But like, like, oh, she just doesn't get it. Oh, she's cis. There's nothing wrong with liking it. It's like makeup. There's nothing wrong with liking makeup, but you don't have to have makeup on. Many people think they can't walk out the door without a full face of makeup on. Eyeshadow, mascara, foundation, the basics. It's like, no. You do not need makeup to leave the house. Kind of like you don't have to have all of the hyper feminine hypersexuality to be a trans girl. But somehow it's not really good rep to see anything besides that. At least from my perspective. Sorry, Rose is being crazy again. I don't know. Pickle says, I'm polite by nature. I do admit that if you are different, I will treat you differently. This manifests as extra polite or outside my typical introverted self-displays of kindness. I want to live in the moment and just tell people honestly, like, hey, your hair looks cool. Your style is spiffy. There's nothing wrong with that. Laura says, I follow Sparrow. I kind of see what you're getting at. We need more varied representation. Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's much other rep. And as someone who is leaning away from being feminine, like, I'm not seeing any good rep for me. Someone who, as much as I'm gonna try, probably can't really look away from being too society standards feminine without like making a lot of physical changes, which I don't want. But like, I feel like just in the queer community in general, that's all I'm kind of being bombarded with. And like, I mean, yes, trans rights. And also, yes, you do you. I'm proud for you. I'm happy for you that you're finding what you like. But like, it doesn't feel like there's much good rep elsewhere of like, look, this is a normal fucking person. It's always just like, what's gonna get the most notes? Cat girls. Trans cat girls. Trans cat girls with dicks. I'm glad you guys like that, but holy shit, can I see something else? I don't know. And it's like, I'm not actively following that, but somehow it's kind of taken over the communities that I'm in. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a really weird, like, I don't know, it's hard to, like, explain it. Like, I'm glad you guys like that, want that, whatever, but it just feels like it's completely erased all other forms of representation that I used to see, if that makes sense. Where are the comfortable bag lady gardening femmes or the lumbersexual flannel grunge gals? Yeah, I hardly even see butch lesbians anymore. Like, representation of just, you know, mask-leaning butch lesbians. Where's that? Barrow says, I'm leaning towards femme myself, but I'm pretty rough because of my background. Yeah, I'll get my hands dirty, but I look great in women's clothes. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's definitely the leaning towards the younger style. You know, that thing that we kind of shame Japan for hypersexualizing younger girls. And then the trans community kind of seems like they latch onto that. And it's kind of a big spiraling circle of stuff that's just, there's probably a lot of inherent problems in it, but too much to unpack. Sparrow says, I don't agree at all that trans gals have to be hypersexual or any of that, but I can understand why those types of folk are so well liked in adjacent Tumblr circles and such, you know. But if we're worried about the but think of the children angle, I'm sure there are other folks outside of that mold who could serve better for that. I don't know. It's not the circle I frequent. And I hope I don't sound like, you know, some cis Christian, oh, but what about the children? Like, no, it's just, you don't want kids. I mean, like, think about when we were growing up, like seeing the pop stars and all this other stuff. And it's like seeing the celebrities go from like, teehee, I'm a cute kid role model to suddenly everything has to be all about sex and sex sells. And a lot of our society has fucked us over as kids, being that like growing up as a girl and just having to like see like this is what it means to be a woman is like, oh, I'm nothing more than a piece of meat. You know. So again, wear whatever clothes you want to wear. Like, I'm not shaming any of that. I hope that makes sense. So this is probably my fault. I mean, honestly, no. It's not you. Well, I mean, a lot of the art you reblog, yeah. But beyond that, you're not the main person. And it's more than just two. So it's not that other person that you're probably thinking about either. Mara says, my hottest outfit involves a shirt that previously belonged to a church-going granny. So we got our gardening bag lady right here. I'm kidding, Bara. Sparrow says, look, I had a Jessica Simpson poster on my bedroom door as an elementary school child, which probably informed some of my sexual learnings into adulthood. Yeah, I mean, like, we should have informative sexual education for the youth, but the aesthetics and stuff is probably not great to just be like shoving on them, especially if it's like, this is kind of the norm. Here's the whole bundle, here's the whole package, and it's like kids are gonna go, wow, that clothes looks really cool, and then if it's already being sexualized, like, hey, can we be careful about that? At least a little? I don't know. It's thoughts. That's all. I just have thoughts, but I don't really exist much on the internet, in places beyond Twitch and Tumblr. And probably, honestly, for the best. Bar says I would be a gardening bag lady, but I'm fucking allergic to everything. Oh no! Just stop being allergic, Baru. I'm sorry. I should have thought of that. Sorry. Pickle says more like, don't feel obligated to be the media-fueled ideal of a female to pass. Loads of girls in the 90s had to fight against negative body image. However, if that is the image you so desire, then I'm more than happy for you. I want to support both types. Kind of like, I never want kids, but I support the folk that want kids. Be you and be unafraid to be you. And that's what I want for people. Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna call it here on the monster cannolis. Crystal Cat. It's under October. No? Oh, yeah. Draw a cat and crystals. Crystal Cat. I love you too, Sparrow. Sleep well. Sparrow says, I do think we could all be more considerate about how we might affect those around us. Yeah, yeah. Stormy's crying in the hallway. I think I'll try and do this Crystal Cat and then probably call it here. Pickle says low poly cat. That would probably work. So, let's see. Just do a basic cat. Stormy, come in here. Mm. Most IRL cats barely qualify as a single shape. Meow. Stormy. Hello. Still gotta feed you. What playlist are we on? Oh. Back to... Still on Stream Beats. Alright. Although we start to get out of Stream Beats music again. I forgot about it. We're just gonna do that. Pickle, go bed. I had a migraine all day. Night, Pickle. Sleep well. Gotta hurry up and finish this drawing up. This storm is getting very fussy. Hello, blindfolded hero. Got alert, but I want to stop by and say hi. Hope you have an amazing stream. Thank you, and thank you on the art. Thank you. Song goes kind of hard. Love the cat sketch. Thank you. We're doing just random October art prompts. I just posted a bunch in our Discord and just was going off of random ones. Like we've got it's supposed to be killer cannolis from outer space. We had vampire, which I basically just did Susie from the Banshees. Susie and the Banshees. The lead singer as a vampire. And Barrow wanted a bunny because they subbed. So they got a bunny. You missed the prompts? I posted them before. I posted them this morning. Now we are doing from the cat prompt, crystal. Rish said something about a crystal cat, possibly blood crystals. So I'm gonna have to try and figure out how to color that one. You're bad at Discord. That's fine. If I would have been more on top of everything, I probably would have like had like some sort of like art panel like showing like the stuff of like, hey guys, this is what I'm asking for. But as you can see, we're in the void, so even if I did set that up, that wouldn't have worked. Here I am trying to draw like this kind of cool looking like cat crystal, and this one is so much better. Just little stick paws. Sounds like some Undertale-ass music playing right now. Kind of. Maybe not. Alright, let's see. I don't know how to make this more crystal and geometric. We're just gonna start throwing in some random lines. Geometry here. It's funny because I'm gonna eventually have to do this when I start playing around with Blender again. how long have I been arting? Oh gosh. I have been drawing basically since my sister started drawing. I think so, being like more like hardcore outside of like kid, you know, drawing, you know, stick figures and basic stuff. Probably since about, let's say, 2nd grade, right? Because when she got into middle school, that's when she started getting into like the anime community at her school. And when she started drawing anime, I started drawing anime. And even though I tried, like, you know, I was just a little dumb kid trying to copy her style, we've definitely morphed different ways. She also went to, you know, college for art, so I'm just self-practiced. We're kind of done with the gender talks, but I was talking with a friend earlier about how an early sign of my enviness was that I never bought into any sort of toxic masculinity. Yeah, it's I feel like that's kind of like Sparrow's way too. It was like, I feel like male upbringing equaled like a lot of the toxic masculinity that I feel like they've just like never associated their maleness with, so there goes. If that makes sense. Wow, that's a long time. Am I the younger sibling? Yes, we are 4 years apart. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really remember like why. It was just like I used to draw a lot even before then, but it was just kind of like I don't know, like I would just like randomly draw and be like, here, I made you a booklet and stuff. Like it was just like silly little kid scribbles and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I still have all of my old drawings. Some loose leaf ones have probably gotten lost over time, but I have all of my old sketchbooks since I started doing sketchbooks. I think the earliest sketchbook I have is probably from about 2004, because I used to just draw on like either lined paper or just like, you know, like basic printer paper until I got my first sketchbook. So they're the first like 2-3 years of my arting definitely is a little probably lost to time, but you know, whatever. My goal at some point is to get all of those scanned and onto the computer, so that way, excuse me, you guys can like redeem points to see a random number sketchbook and a random number page. And then I can show you guys that, and then if you want, like, I could try to just do a redraw of that, or just try and be like, oh yeah, I remember that, here's the story behind it. But that's gonna take a lot of time. A lot of fucking time to set up. And I just have not had that time yet. We'll see how things move in the future, since I'm not quitting my job, but I'm going to talk to my boss about moving to the part-time job, which is closer to home. We're supposed to talk about it tomorrow. I'm hoping I'm not going to get screwed over by taking this position. I mean, I'm taking less hours, but whatever. It's just a big ol' fucking... Let's see. Alright, let's see. This is not what I want. Let's just pull everything in full, and we'll add some highlights to make it a little different. Do some lazy color in here, because it's the last sketch of the night, and I need to power through this so I can go to bed, because I gotta drive my ass to work tomorrow. It's a little too pink red. How about that? As our mid-tone. I need to pick a light source. That's funny. Okay, light source. We're just gonna fucking wing it. Girls, can you not fight right now? Have we considered playing nice? Shiny blood cat. It's something. Does it resemble blood? I feel like I've been looking at so many different shades of red that like this just feels too candy colored for me. Doesn't feel blood colored. I feel like I'm not going dark enough. So get some darker color in here. Accent shades. So we're just gonna make up some shadows. All right, yeah, we'll call it there. Okay. I'll be real with you guys. Whoever may still be remaining. I don't feel like raiding anyone tonight. Only because it's gonna be some setup to have to try and remember how to log into Sparrow's account for Twitch, because I'm not gonna be able to actually see the stream when I do the raid. So, yeah. We'll do our little recap, and then I'll leave you guys off on the ending soon screen for a little bit. So whoever is still remaining. We've got Buns for Baru. Thank you again, Baru, for the sub. We have Susie from Susie and the Banshees as a vampire. And some juicy vampire lips. We have Killer Cannolis from Outer Space. Or just Monster Cannolis in my case. I mean, I could put them in a galaxy. I don't know how else to make it spacey. And then we have Bloodstone Cat. Or in this case, Ash doesn't know how to make 3D polycats. Low poly cat. That's what I was trying to think of. Anyway, we'll leave off on the bun. This is fucking cute. And yeah. Again, for those still remaining, we will see you on Friday for more Variety Friday, or rather Variety Friday that we're not missing out on, hopefully. I know we've missed, if not last time, both, like the past 2 weeks, but we're gonna do it. As long as we're feeling up for it. It's been rough lately. Anyway. Yeah. So see you guys on Friday. And oh no. See you tomorrow for movie night. And if not, see you Friday. Anyway. Night, guys.